how do you stay off your radar, EPA's radar, or something like that. And there's always, well, as long as you do reasonable basis or a CARB. Now, reasonable basis might not, if you can provide information to show that you've done some type of testing that you can that shows that it's good, you can provide that if CARB ever or EPA ever asked a question about it. But that might subdue them for now, but that doesn't mean that they might not come back around and ask more questions later.
Yeah.
Whereas a CARB is, kind of more solidified answer, I guess, or, we've done the testing.
It's more of a definitive result.
Exactly. Sorry. Yeah, that's a better way to put it. So.
Yeah. Well, and so the question that I would throw out there is, why does it matter? And obviously at Cobb, it matters a lot to you guys because there are other aftermarket companies that have gotten CARB certifications for some things, going back historically. But after the April 22 update, you guys have really been aggressive in getting as many CARB certifications as you possibly can. So it clearly matters to you guys. Why? Can you give me an idea of why?
To put it simply, it matters for our existence. At the end of the day, the precedent has been set that the liability is on the manufacturer to produce products that can be legally used. And I'm sure a lot of your listeners have been following along, but the EPA has come out in more recent times and made some pretty specific statements about legality of race cars and things like that. And this is the one clear way we know of to make sure that our products are established as legal, and that dealers like Flatirons and all the great customers out there can use them legally in either 50 or 49 state, kind of depending on the circumstance. The EPA has a website where they publish all of their enforcement actions each year against companies in our space. And if you start reading through them, there's a very clear precedent in terms of what they're focused on and the things they're not going to allow. And unfortunately, the liability is on us. And so we have to set the right path from the top, and then the people, the customers and users below us are doing the right thing kind of by default.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're all car guys, car gals, gearheads. Like, we all want to be able to modify our cars. We all want to be able to do whatever we want with our cars. And there's always been, a Clean Air Act since 77, where, we've all kind of been maybe skirting a gray area or something like that. And we want to be able to continue modifying our cars. We want to be able to continue allowing customers to modify their cars. And for us, the CARB is really the only clear way that we see currently to be able to allow that to continue, allow the ability for us to continue offering, our products to customers and being able to do what they want with their vehicles and continue to modify and continue to, expand upon their maybe steps along the way that they want to move their vehicle to. So, it's very important to us. So,
well, and I think it's really easy to get frustrated with it from an enthusiast standpoint, but I think as time has gone on, more people are realizing that it's just what you said. If we want to keep doing what we're doing, if we want to keep having the ability, we as enthusiasts, if we want to keep having the ability to go in and take a car and change it and get it to do something that we want to do that's outside of the box of the factory, especially from a power standpoint, having manufacturers that are putting in the time and effort to get these certifications, that's the key piece of the puzzle. Because in the background, what is happening is more and more states are making it so that you do not have carte blanche to go in and do whatever you want to your car and still drive it on the street. At this point, I mean, we're in Colorado, and I can tell you here in Colorado, things have changed as we as enthusiasts have figured out that they now can tell if you have a flash on the ECU that is not a certified flash, and they can actually prevent you from getting through emissions because they realize, oh, well, the mapping on your ECU does not match what it's supposed to. and even if you pass everything, all of the tests at the testing facility, you still fail because they know that there's a flash on the ECU. And now with what you guys are doing for the CARB EOs, if you have a CARB EO stage kit, you can go through and show them that and show them the documentation and finally get through it. It's not a smooth process for us here because there's still some bumps in the road, but it does work. I've had customers that have gone through everything, and it does work once you have all of the documentation in line.
That's great.
Yeah, it's I guess it provides customers maybe too a more peace of mind, like the fact that they don't have to worry about when their car comes up for inspection the next year, and if they're, depending on what their state situation is and what they look for. I mean, it's obviously, you know, we've made the decisions that we've made to get to where we are and trying to be as have everything compliant. Looking back, we wish we would have done it a different way, or at least released it a different way, and letting customers and dealers know more than.
Sure.
Yes. I mean, I can't say that we did it the right way. Obviously, you know, we upset a lot of people, and obviously we're regaining the trust of our customer base and whatnot. And I can't say how I'm sorry for everything that we've done. And there's nothing that I can say to, you know, satisfy everybody, but we're definitely in the, our focus is to be able to continue to keep, you know, aftermarket performance parts available to the customer base, to keep this community going. I know SEMA's been very active in trying to help with that as well. And it's just, you know, it's very important to me to be able to modify my vehicle the way I want it to be.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
If we hadn't made the change we had made, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation today. So
yeah. I mean, I all I will say is, from an outsider looking in, at the initial onset, it seemed like a decision that had to be made. It's not something that wanted to be made that way. And it's pulling off the Band-Aid. But the thing that people have to remember is, I mean, we're trying to run a business here. You guys are trying to run a business there. And when you're running a business, you have to have more of a long-term point of view, long-term perspective. You know, it's not just what's good for today or this week. You've got to look years down the road, and where you guys are at now, and with all of the CARB certifications and everything that you guys have got. I mean, it's you know, we're hopeful that more companies will go down a similar path, because then I know that is going to work, that my customers are going to have good results with it. They're not going to have any surprise issues, you know, when emissions time comes for them to run the car through again, because that's you know, that's the path that we're on, and more and more states are making it that way. I wish we all had more freedom to pick and choose, but this is kind of this is the game that we're playing. And you know, again, if you want to be able to buy another car and buy Cobb products in 5 years from now, this is kind of what we all have to do.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. To hear the whole conversation, click below for the full episode of this podcast, or tune in every week on iTunes or Spotify. If you like these episodes, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, because your support is what makes all of this possible. As always, this show is brought to you by Flatirons Tuning, your premier source for any Subaru OEM or aftermarket parts. Check out our website at flatirons tuning.com, and as always, stay tuned with Flatirons Tuning.